guys, Talk Footy are here, and today I bring you the first video of the channel, and today I'm going to be doing Premier League predictions for the week 2 of the 2019-20 season. So guys, pretty simple. I'm just going to be going through all the games, all the 10 games that are going on next week. I'm going to predict who wins. It's really simple. So there, let's get started. So we start week 2 of the Premier League season with a 12:30 kickoff, and it's Arsenal taking on Burnley at the Emirates. It's going to be a pretty interesting game because both sides won their opening fixture. Obviously with Burnley winning 3-0 at home against Southampton, looked pretty comfortable in that game. No problems at all really. Southampton didn't really get into the game. And Arsenal winning away today against Newcastle, which is James's Park, 1-0 win. Aubameyang with the goal, and they look pretty comfortable as well. So going into this game, both sides looking like they can both do damage. They're both decent sides. I mean, don't underestimate Burnley. They've done well in the past, and they can on any given occasion. But I do think Arsenal will prevail. They are at home, and they're playing a much weaker side on paper. So I reckon Arsenal will come out on top, and I reckon it will be a 2-1 victory to Arsenal. Okay guys, on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs. I think there's about 5 or 6 of them. And the first one sees newly promoted playoff winners Aston Villa at home for the first time this season at Villa Park, and they take on Bournemouth with a 3 o'clock kickoff. So another interesting game because Bournemouth, they drew their first game 1-0 against Sheffield United at home, which really they probably should have won. I think that, well, they didn't play too well, but it was like quite a tight game. But one they really should have won. And Aston Villa lost 3-1 away to Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I think Aston Villa looked really good in that game, even though they did lose 3-1. First half they were really dominant, to be honest. Spurs had a few chances, but I reckon Villa did play quite good football. Obviously McGinn with their early goal, great finish, great through ball as well. And I think at home they're going to really play really well, I reckon, this season. And Bournemouth are a side that do struggle away from home, don't pick up very many points. Obviously they did pick up points like against the likes of Chelsea, but that is sort of a one-off occasion. And I reckon Aston Villa will win, and I'm going to say 2-0 to Aston Villa. Right guys, on to the second 3 o'clock kickoff. Sees Brighton at the Amex take on West Ham. So this is another fixture like the previous one that could go both ways. Brighton, obviously their opening game, they played Watford away and won 3-0, looked very comfortable. Played some nice football as well. Obviously Watford were definitely the favourites going into that game, but Brighton played some really good football. Got one lucky goal, but the other two were really good crafted goals, and they did look very confident. Unlike last season losing 2-0 to Watford the first game of the season, but they looked really comfortable and they were the dominant side. And then West Ham, they lost 5-0, got hammered at home to City at the London Stadium 5-0. Really didn't look good at all that game. Was playing rubbish passes all over the park, didn't look comfortable in possession. So yeah, I really think Brighton will win this. They're at home, they got the home faithful for the first time this season. And West Ham obviously coming off away game now, coming off the back of a 5-0 hammering at home to City. I'm definitely going to see Brighton come away with a victory. And I'm going to say 2-0 to Brighton. So guys, the third 3 o'clock kickoff sees Everton take on Watford at Goodison Park. Now this fixture is going to be really tough for Watford, obviously coming off the back of a 3-0 hammering by Brighton at their home ground at Vicarage Road. And I can't see them coming off the back of that and getting a victory away at Goodison Park. And I think Everton, obviously they drew 0-0 to Palace on the opening day at Selhurst Park. It was a quite boring game, but obviously they're going into their home faithful now for the first time this season. The home faithful is going to be lifted up. Obviously they didn't get hammered first game of the season, they just drew, so the fans are still going to be like uplifted. And Watford are not going to go in very confident, I don't think, after a 3-0 hammering to, on paper, a worse team to them in Brighton. So I'm going to say it's going to be a comfortable win for Everton. I'm going to say 3-1 Everton. Right guys, next 3 o'clock kickoff sees Norwich take on Newcastle at Carrow Road. Now first we're speaking about Norwich. They obviously lost 4-1 to Liverpool at Anfield on the opening game of the season. You didn't really expect them to get anything out of that. Liverpool obviously really good side this season. As last season they look really good as well. I reckon they're going to do very well this season as well. There's nothing you can really put against them. They just played a dominant side, especially at Anfield. First game of the season. Liverpool fans are going to be hyped up. They're going for the league this season, so there's nothing you can really put against Norwich. They were really going to lose this game. They're really going to lose that game from the start. You knew it. They did lose 4-1. They did get a consolation goal, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. They still didn't play very good football at all, but you didn't really expect them to again at Anfield. And then you've got Newcastle, who lost 1-0 at home to Arsenal today, Sunday. And I think that they didn't play very good football, but they did have chances. So it's going to be quite a tight game because they both lost, Norwich and Newcastle. And I reckon this is going to be quite a tight game. I'm going to go for a draw, and I'm going to go 1-0. Right guys, so the next 3 o'clock kickoff sees Southampton take on Liverpool at St Mary's. Now this is quite an obvious fixture because I think that Southampton obviously losing 3-0 away to Burnley, and Liverpool winning 4-1 against Norwich. They look really comfortable, and I think it's going to be the same here. Obviously Southampton are going to be they're going to not have any confidence, and Liverpool are going to be completely opposite, really hyped up for the game. So I think it's going to go really heavily Liverpool's way, and I'm going to say 4-0 Liverpool. Right guys, all the 3 o'clock kickoffs done for the Saturday, and now on to the big game for the Saturday, probably the biggest match of the game week, and it sees Manchester City at home taking on Spurs at the Etihad. Now this is going to be a really good game. Both sides really look good. Obviously Man City hammering West Ham 5-0, but then you can say the same because Spurs winning 3-1 against Aston Villa. Big margin still, 2-goal margin to a 5-goal margin, but both sides look really confident and played really good football. And I reckon it's going to be a tight game. I think Man City will come out on top. They've got the home faithful, and they didn't struggle against Spurs last season either, really. I'm going to say 3-1 to Manchester City. Right guys, so all the Saturday's fixtures have been done. Now we move on to Sunday, and got a Renault Super Sunday, 2 games. We're starting with the first game, and it's at Bramall Lane as newly promoted Sheffield United take on Crystal Palace with a 2 o'clock kickoff, the earlier kickoff. So this can be another interesting game as well, because I think Sheffield United, obviously they drew their first game against Bournemouth away at Vitality, but I think there's some positive signs from Sheffield United. They did play some good football in the first half, and obviously they got their equaliser away from home. Palace drawing to Everton at home. I reckon that was not really an interesting game there, but they did draw to quite a good side. And Sheffield United are going to be quite confident from drawing to Bournemouth, so I'm going to go for a draw this game. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Right guys, on to the second Sunday match. It's a 4:30 kickoff, and it sees Chelsea take on Leicester at Stamford Bridge. Now with this game, Chelsea obviously getting hammered away to Manchester United today. It's 3-0 at the moment. As I'm recording this, it could be 4-5 by the end of the game. It looks like they're being dominated. So yeah, they're not going to be very confident going into this game. Leicester, they drew 1-1 home to Wolves. Didn't look like a very interesting game, but I'm pretty sure they did dominate. As it says in the Premier League app, they had more possession, and Willy Bolly obviously getting man of the match, so he must have had to do a lot of defending. Now this game is, I don't think Chelsea will run away with it, because I think Leicester are going to have some confidence, and they're obviously going for the Europa League, so you've got to take that into an account. And I reckon it'll be quite a tight game, but I am going to go with Chelsea, and I'm going to go with 2-1 to Chelsea. Right guys, last match of the game week is a Monday night football game. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff, at Molineux, and it sees Wolves take on Manchester United. Now it's going to be a good game because both sides are really good, obviously. Wolves drawing to Leicester, but they did look okay, I guess you could say. Man United obviously going to be really confident, just smash Chelsea at home. They're going to be very confident going into this game. And I think Wolves do create a good atmosphere at Molineux. It's a very good atmosphere. I reckon they're just going to try and get like into Manchester United's heads, but I don't think they're going to succeed. Man United look really confident and really good at the moment, especially after that first game. So I'm going to say it's going to be a Man United win. It's going to be 2-1 to the away team, and Wolves are going to get a goal, but it's not going to be enough. I think it's going to be 2-1 United. Right guys, so there are all of my 2019-20 Premier League season week 2 predictions. Let me know in the comments if you agree with them, what you guys think, and let us know what you want to see on the channel, because me and my friend Stephen will try our best to incorporate these into videos. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the first video, the Premier League predictions obviously. If you want to see week 3, drop a like. Let's try and get to 5 likes and then we'll do week 3. And yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.